G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitars Ready Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Down Under by Men at Work, which is an Aussie classic. I'm going to teach you how to play this on the acoustic guitar and on the electric guitar. For the acoustic version, similar to the way that Colin Hay plays this live, you will need a capo on the second fret of your guitar. Now for the full band version on the electric guitar, you just need your guitar in standard tuning and no capo is required. Now, in terms of guitar tone, I'm playing everything through a Boss Katana 100 Mark II. I'll leave my tone patch for this in the description below. If you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarsreadyhero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve any guitar in general, check out Guitars Ready Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. All right, let's jump into the lesson. So I'll start off by teaching you an acoustic way of playing this awesome tune. So for the intro and the verse, we have one line of chords, really nice and simple. We're starting with an A minor chord. Our strumming pattern is going to go something like this for the A minor: down, down, up, down, up, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So then we go to a G/B. Now from the A minor, move your middle finger up to the second fret of the 5th string. You can lift all your other fingers and your pinky finger will go onto the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And we're just going to focus on the middle 4 strings here. We don't want that 6th string ringing out. Now, if you want to though, you can use your ring finger to hit the 3rd fret of the 6th string for a full G chord. But in the particular formants that I analysed watching Colin Hay play this, he actually just keeps it as the G/B. Now for this G/B, my suggested strumming pattern is down, down, up, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And together with the A minor, the 3rd bar is the same as the 1st bar, so just that A minor again. And then for the 4th bar, we're going to play an F chord. Now the ideal way to play this F chord is to just keep your index finger where it is, put your ring and pinky fingers on the 3rd fret of the 5th and 4th string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And if you can, reach your thumb over the top to hit the 1st fret of the 6th string. If you can't reach your thumb over to hit that though, just focusing on those middle 4 strings is okay as well. But adding that 6th string in thickens it up quite a bit. So after the F chord, we then go to a G chord, and we can play that with our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th, and pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Although if you focus on the top 4 strings, or the thicker 4 strings, then you don't really need to actually fret anything on those higher strings at all. You can just focus on those heavier strings for that G chord. So F and G for the final bar. Those 2 chords are contained within the 1 bar, and the strumming pattern is down, down, up, down, down, up, and we change on the 3 beat. So, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We put that all together, and the intro/verse will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's one little embellishment that Colin Hay often uses when he plays this acoustically. I'll just quickly teach you that now. Now with the A minor, he often alters this chord. He changes the notes on the 2nd string to turn it into an A sus2 or an A sus4. Now the most common one that he does is he lifts the index finger to turn it into an A sus2. So he starts off with his index finger lifted, and on the end beat after the 3, that's when he actually plants that index finger down. So with the strumming pattern, so notice on the end beat after the 3, that's when I put my index finger down. And together with the progression, so that's one little embellishment that you can add. I'm not going to use it in the playthrough at the end of this lesson just to keep it simple, but you can throw that into your playing as well. And feel free to use your own strumming patterns as well. What I teach you are just suggestions, of course. The next chord progression to learn is the chorus. For the chorus, we have C, then G. Now for this particular G, I'm going to use a 4-finger G chord, but you can just use the 3-finger G chord if you wanted to as well. Then A minor, and then F, G. Now that F and G are contained within the one bar, similar to what we had in the verse/intro. The other three chords though, we're gonna mix up the strumming pattern. We're gonna play down, 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 up, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And in total, the chorus will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. The only other part we need to learn is the bridge/instrumental section. There's 2 lines of chords here. Our first line of chords is just the same as the verse and intro, but it's played through 4 times. And then for the second line of chords, we have our C, and our G, A minor, F to G. But the strumming patterns that we're going to use are the same as the strumming patterns in the verse/intro. So for the C, we have down, down, up, down, up. And then when we go to the G, it's down, down, up. The A minor is the same strumming pattern as the C, and then we have our F and G. So this second line of chords, I'll just play through the 2 lines of chords here once each, but in the actual song, you'll need to play that first line of chords through 4 times and the second line of chords through twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are all the parts you need to learn for the acoustic version of this song. Now in the actual recording, there's up to 4 guitar part layers going on, so there's a lot happening in the recording, but what I'm going to teach you here are all the main guitar parts in one single guitar so that you can play along by yourself and you don't need to layer all those extra little parts. Okay, so in terms of guitar tone, I'm using my bridge pickup here. Now I'm using a clean amp channel, I've got a compressor on my signal chain, and I also have some chorus and some reverb, and that's how I'm getting my tone. I'll leave a link to my Boss Katana tone patch in the description below. Let's start with the intro, which is pretty simple. There's just 1 line of tab here. We're going to start with a B minor chord shape, but we're not playing the full bar chord like this. We're just playing the bottom 4 strings of it. So we need our ring finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string, and our index finger will bar across the 7th fret of the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, like that. Now what I do with my free middle finger is I lightly touch the 6th and 5th strings. So if I strum all the strings, only the thinnest 4 strings will ring out, which is what I want. This is going to be strummed with a down up on the end beats. So if we are counting at 16th notes, 1 end we start strumming that chord on the end So there's a rest at the start of this bar. It doesn't start on the 1 beat. 1 Now on the 2 beat, we want a rest, right? So I just drop my palm onto the side of the strings so that the notes of that chord don't ring out. 1 2 and on the end beat after the 2, I'm going to strum that chord again with another down strum. So it's effectively a down, up, mute, down. And with the counting, 1 2 Now for the second half of this bar, we're doing basically the same strumming pattern and rhythm, but we're just shifting the chord up here to a partial A major chord. It's technically an A/C sharp, but let's just consider this as an A chord. So from the first chord shape, we just shift everything up 2 frets, and our middle finger will come onto the 10th fret of the 2nd string here. Now to mute the 5th and 6th strings, what you can do is have your ring finger slightly touching the 5th string as it's fretting down the 4th string, and then have your thumb reaching over the top to hit the 6th string. Or you could just focus on selectively strumming those higher 4 strings. And with this chord, 3 and 4 and. So to simplify, the strumming pattern for each shape is basically down, up, mute, down, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now for the second bar here, we're starting off the same way with this B minor chord, 1 and 2 and. But then we're going to play a G triad like this. So keep your finger positioning where it is, but we're just basically putting our middle finger down on that 8th fret of the 2nd string, and we're going to pluck the 4th, 3rd, 2nd string, and then shift the shape up 2 frets and play the exact same notes. So the second bar, 1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, 4 yen. And that's it for the intro, which sounds like this in total. 1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, 4 yen, 1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, 4 yen. Okay, next we get to the verse, and again there's just one line of tab here. We're going to start with the 2nd fret of the 5th string. We're going to pluck this twice with a down up, and then with our pinky finger go to the 4th fret of the 4th string and pluck this twice with a down up, and then end back on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So down, up, down, up, down. I wouldn't hold these 2 notes together and let them both ring out. I would just pluck each note individually one at a time, like that. So after that little riff, we then just shift our index finger down, and we're going to bar the 2nd frets of the 4th and 3rd string. So we're going to play an A5 power chord here. So just focus on the 5th, 4th and 3rd strings there and strum that out and hold it on the 3 beat. So 1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, 4 yen. For the 2nd bar, we start off with that same lick at the start, but then we go to a G chord. We're going to strum this, and then we're going to play an A chord by just barring our index finger across the 2nd frets of the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string. And we're going to strum from the 5th string onwards. In the bar in total, 1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, 4 yen. Now the 3rd bar is identical to the 1st bar, and for the 4th bar, we start off the same way with that lick. But then we go to our G chord and we're going to pluck some notes here. So it's going to be 6th string, 4th and 3rd. So 3 yen, and then we go to our A chord and we're going to pluck 5th, 4th, 3rd. So 3 yen, 4 yen. And the bar in total. 1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, 4 yen. And that's it for this line of tab, which is played through twice for the verse. But altogether, it'll sound like this. Next we go to the chorus. There's just one line of chords here. We're going to start with the D chord, but we're going to play it up here. But I'm going to use my middle and ring finger on the 7th frets of the 3rd and 2nd string, and an index finger on the 5th fret of the 1st string, and strum from the 4th string onwards. Then we shift our index finger up 1 string, and then middle on the 6th fret of the 3rd string, ring on the 7th fret of the 4th string, and we're going to strum from the 5th string onwards. So this is an A chord, and then we go to a B minor chord and strum that. Now each of those 3 chords is held out for 2 beats. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then we go to a G chord. We're going to hit the bass note, and with an upstroke hit the 2nd and 3rd strings. We're then going to pivot and keep our ring finger where it is, but just bar our index finger across the 2nd frets of the 4th and 3rd string. So it's an A sus4, and do pretty much the same thing. So hit the bass note and then an upstroke on the 2nd and 3rd strings. So 3 and 4 and those 2 bars all together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now if you wanted to, instead of playing this, you could pick the notes individually, similar to what we had in the verse, where we go 6th, 4th, 3rd, and then the A, 5th, 4th, 3rd, which would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But for simplicity in the playthrough, I'll just play it the way I've shown in the tab, the simple way. So after the first chorus, there's a break, which is identical to the intro, so nothing new to learn there. Then there's the second verse, which is the same as the first verse, and the second chorus, which is the same as the first chorus, so nothing new to learn for those parts. Next is the bridge/instrumental section. This is somewhat similar to the intro with a few changes, so let's dive into it. So for the first line of tab, it's basically the same as the intro. So 1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, 4 yen, 1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, 4 yen. The second line of tab is identical to the first line of tab with the exception of the second bar. So for the second bar, we're going to play a little lick. Now, You don't need to do this. You could just play that first line of tab for the second line of tab as well. But this little lick is more true to the actual recording. So we're going to have our middle finger on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, and we're going to pluck this 4 times with a down, up, down, up. We're going to go down to the 7th fret of the 3rd string with our index, back up to the 7th fret of the 2nd string with our middle, and so far 1 yenda, 2 yenda. Then we go to the 9th fret of the 3rd string, and then 7th fret down to 6th fret, and then 9th fret of the 4th string, and all together. And the second line of tab in total. So the first and the second line of tab are repeated through twice. And then there's this third line of tab, which is very similar to the verse with one minor change. And that's in the 1st and 3rd bars. So in the 1st and 3rd bars for the verse, we played the riff here on 2nd and 4th frets. But for this line of tab, we're going to play that lick up at 5th and 7th frets. So this is more of a D5 power chord we're playing around. Like that. So that will happen on the 1st and 3rd bars, but everything else is pretty much the same as the verse. So this 3rd line of tab. After the instrumental, there's another verse section, and then the final chorus, which is the same as the other choruses. And then we just play that till the song fades out. And that's everything for the electric guitar version of this song. Again, in the actual recording, there's up to 4 guitar parts going on. There's a lot going on. So I haven't taught every single guitar part because you wouldn't be able to play all those parts all together at once anyway. So this is a version that you could play by yourself or with a band with just one guitar. So now I'll be doing 2 playthroughs of the song, the acoustic and the electric version. I'll also have a vocal track on top for some context. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Made me
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.